Hello. Welcome gamers, it is in fact Monday. We're back here on this beach. Look at this, what is this place? What even is this place? Good question. We will find out right now. It is Musulo, Angola. It does look very nice. What a nice looking place. We got this stuff. What is that, a crab? I don't even know. It's grass. That's some kind of seaweed, perhaps. I don't know. And this guy, what are you doing? X-Job, what are you, what's the deal, huh? Anyway, welcome Stream Elements, welcome Hamflow, welcome Defins, welcome L:Q, welcome Lastabaka, Slime Molder, Duck, X-Job, and that's everyone. And also the people who were here an hour before the raid, because Vacuously raided me when I was offline. But I will not greet those chatters, unless they're here today. Right now, they're not here. They're gone. That was an hour ago. Also, welcome Stanley. Okay, we're gonna do some Game Boy Studio development today. I've made some changes since last time. So if you'll remember the last time I streamed this, we had various things. Now, one thing that bothered me about GB Studio was that you could not change the collision. You have to like draw in collisions manually. So like, you know, you start off, you have like this background, but although these tiles have collision, GB Studio is not aware of it, and they're treated separately. Now I was like, this is annoying, so I implemented a plugin. Okay, it's not a plugin. If I knew how to make a plugin in GB Studio, maybe I can consider it, but it's just a script for now. So I'm gonna show it. You're gonna be like, whoa, that's so cool. Wolfie, that's so cool. How do you do this? And then I'll be like, oh, I wrote a script. I used a function and then whatever. Welcome to Mai as well. Yeah, it is in fact a Labor Day. I will assume that many of you who are working in the US have the day off. And you're like, oh shoot, I thought it was Sunday or whatever. But it's not. It's actually Monday. And today's image is a relevant image. It is a Wolfie on a Game Boy. The regular Game Boy. Now you might be like, what Wolfie? The regular Game Boy, it doesn't have color. That's not even allowed. Well, maybe it's not a real Game Boy, huh? Have you considered that maybe it's a fake Game Boy? Did not work today, I'm so happy. That's good. It's good to have the day off. Did get a work call yesterday on Sunday. I can't believe this. That's impossible. Ain't no way. Okay, we're gonna open up some recent files. Now, okay, I'm gonna go over what I changed. So in LDtk, I've specified various properties on the tile set. You're like, what does that mean? What does that even mean? I drew slopes. We're not actually using slopes, but I've added them. So in LDtk, you have one enumeration that you can use for a tile set. You can mark collision. You can be like, okay, this is going to be a solid tile, and then you just draw various things, and it marks them all as solid. And then when you actually go to read the data, it's now available. Look at this. We got the LDtk file, collision, right? So we have all the collision identifiers, right? They're all right here. And then if you go to the level data, sorry, no, we go to tile set properties. Okay, this is here. We have a bunch of things. So if I look up solid, you'll see we have enumeration tags, and then this has all the values that are considered solid. So we have, looking at this one, we have, this is tile 1, tile 2, goes across. So it says these ones are marked. And then when you look at the level data, it has all the tiles here. Right, so there's a tile ID, tile 32, which is 32. It's this one. It's grass. It's the grass tile, and that has no collision. Anyway, the way that I've implemented this is going to be so interesting. You're going to be like, whoa, that's crazy. How did he do that? So I copied these functions from the Game Boy Studio GitHub. You can see the copyright notices here. I've copied it. It's under the MIT license. I'm allowed to use this code. We have a few collision flags. How did he do that? I copied the code. I only copied this code. Everything else in this file was written by me. We have various conditions. Okay, we load up the file, the one specified right here. And then I go through all the levels, and then I find all the tile set data, and then I update the file. So then if you look at the scene file, you'll notice we have this collisions string, and that is a compressed bit set. It's actually run length encoding. It says, given this collision data, repeat it for this many tiles or whatever. And so it's actually quite simple. And now the cool thing is, if I update this file right here, right? If I just add some new things, welcome Newington, right? If I save this, you'll notice that, you know, normally it shows up here, right? That's fine. But then the collision data is not there, right? Normally you would have to go here and be like, okay, we're gonna manually add this stuff, right? But that's annoying. I don't want to have to do that. So instead, I just run a script. So I go here, I do node, and then scripts, and sync. Okay, now it's updated. Now it hasn't updated here. I don't know how to get GP Studio to automatically reload it, but I can just reload. Reload assets does not work. You have to actually reload the entire project. And once this has been reloaded, you'll notice, oh, look at that, we got the collision. It's literally right there. It's actually so easy. And I think that is quite convenient. It will simplify a lot of game design. However, the issue is that I don't have ideas for games. That's the thing. I just don't know what to make. It would be cool if I had ideas, but at this moment I'm kind of just like, you know, just making stuff up. Did I welcome Namington? I was talking for a long time. I don't remember if I greeted you. I definitely saw you wave, and I was probably mid talking about stuff. Also, welcome Zoe. I did, okay. Sometimes I forget. But yeah, that's cool. And so that means we can make some new tiles. We could make like a top-down one. We can make whatever. Another thing that I thought was pretty cool is that you'll note, okay, once this thing builds, it takes a while to build. I think it writes everything to like a temporary directory that gets cleared when you restart your computer. But there's one thing I thought that I could do here. We have a limited number of colors, because that's how the Game Boy works. But since it's Game Boy Color, we could split up our sprite into multiple parts. At the moment, the entire sprite is rendered as red, but I could put the hair on its own layer. I could have the body on its own layer. So then the hair could be rendered behind the rest of it, which means that the hair could be red, but then this stuff could be rendered blue. I think maybe I'll try doing that today. Welcome CL as well. 23 years. Thank you for the 23 years. The real strat is to go on Reddit and implement game ideas by people who say, I have this great game idea. Ah yes, of course, Reddit. The best place for game ideas. As everyone knows, all the best game ideas come from Reddit. Of course. Well, thank you Hamflo as well for the 39 years. Okay, so look at this. We have collision now. This is colliding. You can now collide with this. Exactly. What's the best game idea that came from Reddit? If you can name one, I think that'd be pretty cool. Another thing that this could also fix is the sprite is 32 by 32, which means that when the character walks up, we don't have enough space to fit it on the screen. However, if we split up the sprite, we could render the hair separately, and it could be 1 pixel above, so we would actually be able to have the top part. Thank you to Maya as well for the 42 years. That's crazy. That's the big number. That's the answer, the question, what is it? The answer to the question of life, universe, and everything. I had a great game idea based on a Reddit. It's like you see a weird cookie cutter and you color it in. Funniest one wins. I don't understand. And you're also talking about... is that Katawa Shoujo that you're talking about? Welcome, Low Efforts. Wolfed to be here. What's even the deal, huh? It is, but that's not Reddit though. I was talking specifically about Reddit. You've named a website that is not Reddit. It's a crazy outlier. Is it though? What if it was an inlier? What if everyone was just lying all the time? Using a second sprite, yeah, I think that's how some things did it. I believe there was like some Mario game where they used a separate sprite specifically for like Mario's eyes because the rest of his sprite had already used 3 colors. And they're like, well, we gotta put, you know, the white color in. So they had a separate one just for his eyes. And also another thing that you could do with rendering the sprite twice, I mean with 2 different layers, is that you could have, like, you know how the hair is like, why is this color so big? The hair is red, and like, so then this thing here, welcome Tiny, this thing here is not red because we don't have the colors for that. However, we could simply make this pixel transparent, and then if the red is underneath, then this would be red. We would have the tie color. And then, you know, this would be blue, this would be dark blue, this would still be white, this would be white. So we're going to try doing that. On the other hand, many gifted and cool people originated on Clover's site. I don't know why you insist on calling it that. Why would you not just say 4chan? Is that like a thing that people say, Clover's site? Also, thank you CL for the 3 bits. Continuing the train. The train does not work unless you have 100 bits, I believe. Actually, no, I think 100 bits is the minimum to get the Hype Train emote. But I think you posted your sub renewal, so that does count. And we'll keep calling it that until it catches on. I don't know. No one really even knows. People call Twitter the bird site. Yeah, now it's X. Now it's X, the everything app. Actually messed up. So we're gonna try doing the hair color thing. We're gonna have this one be named hair. Character animation. True, this was simply copied from my other project. Yeah, what if it was the nothing app? What if it was simply nothing? Okay, so we're gonna have the hair layer. Welcome, Old Man Diabetes. And the cool thing about having the hair as its own thing, it also saves on tiles. So like the what am I saying? The Game Boy has like a limited number of tiles that you can have on screen at the same time. And so it means these things, we have like a sprite that moves up and down, right? Each one of those counts as a separate thing. But then if we have this specific one, this would only use up, I guess it's actually 2 tiles. You might be like, it's 4 tiles, but Game Boy has a tile addressing mode that allows you to refer to tiles in 8 by 16. So this is actually 2 tiles. people called the third generation Xbox One. Yeah, by people, do you mean Microsoft? Can't recall any Redditor games. There are probably some, but they would not call themselves Redditor games. But which ones though? Make animation for eating stuff? No, this is not that kind of game. So we're gonna load up the previous sprite. It was not this one. I really wish they would show like the actual path, because I have these are all just named player.asprite. It's not this one. That's the same file. Open recent. Maybe it's like this player.asprite. No, this is the empty player. What if it was this player? That's a dog. That's actually a dog. What if it was this player? Okay, it is this player. Okay, so we can take the hair from here. Oh no, we don't have hair on its own layer. Okay, I guess we have to do that ourselves. So we can take the hair simply by removing all of this stuff. It's probably an easier way to do it. How do you use rectangle? You can use this, right? You can use this tool, the rectangular selection tool. Okay, and then the question is where does the hair go? How far down is the hair? Does it end here? No one really even knows. Literally is unknown. Anyway, how was everyone's weekend? Have you all had a good Labor Day? How is that day of labor? Today Day is Labor Day. That's a thing that some people say sometimes. That's a reference to the classic Homestar Runner. Slept 12 hours? That's a good amount of time to sleep. How long did I sleep? I feel like these past few days I have not been sleeping very well. It's because I've just been like thinking about Game Boy Studio. Like, I've not really worked that much on Game Boy Studio stuff, but then I just keep thinking like, oh, I could have colors by splitting this thing into its own layer. I could have a script that imports from LDtk and all that. And it works. You're in labor right now? Congrats. Congrats. You are not in labor, you can't relate. That's too bad, actually. It's unfortunate. Wait, what do I call this layer? Layer 1, body. So we have hair and body. And then we can simply just remove this stuff from here. If you remove this, you could have this as part of its own thing, right? It could totally just be there. Now you might be like, well, Wolfie, why would you have this here and not as part of the hair layer? That doesn't make sense. It's because I think if I have this here, then these eyes could be bluish. If I had it as part of the hair layer, I think it would just be the color of this, which would be dark red, which maybe I don't want. I don't really know. Today labor. Today. What about tomorrow? What even is tomorrow? Okay, and then we can also delete this one. Whoops. We can delete this tile here. Wait, can we do that? Is that even possible? Yes, because although it looks here like it's this color, it's actually transparent, right? It's actually transparent, and so this color will actually be on the bottom. And I think that's pretty cool. Tomorrow, exactly. It's tomorrow. What even is tomorrow? Has anyone even thought about tomorrow? What is this? How did that happen? So you can click on this and also link up various colors here. So like, these colors are actually all the same color. Link, you can link these cells. Look at that. Now if you change this one, then these will also change. And then the same for this one. This one can also be linked to this one. Link from The Legend of Zelda. Does anyone even know? Okay, and this one we're gonna have it's gonna be one lower. Right, so this one is now here. And you can simply delete the rest of it. It's actually that easy. Some people might tell you that it's hard, but it's not. It's actually quite easy. Did I welcome Infinite Zero? I definitely read your message. I don't know if I actually greeted you. This is the issue with streamers, is that they just don't remember. They do not have the best attention span sometimes. Okay, so now we have this, and then we can do the same for this one. Okay, this one's actually one lower. This one, though, is still there. So we also just delete this one. Now, at the moment, it doesn't look so good, but I'm sure once I import it into the game, it's gonna be so cool. It'll be like, whoa, that's crazy, dude. How did he do that? I feel like that's like the third time I've said that today. How did he do that? You're always asking this. When you're watching a streamer and they do something, people are always asking, how did they do that? How did they even know that this was to happen? And the answer is that they don't. No one truly even knows. Some people might think that they know, but they don't. And that's why some things are the way they are. Okay, and then also this one. This one must also have the same criteria. It's gotta be. It literally gotta be. Okay, so that's there. Also remember to delete this one. Right, because if you don't remember, it will not be there. It's a very easy mistake to make. Alright, so now we gotta have one that's like a bit lower down. Let's see, it's this one, right? This one should be the same as this one. So you can link these two. And then this one should also be the same one. Alright, now we can delete from here. There's probably an easier way to do this. Actually, I kind of wish that Aseprite had a way to like make symbols. If that makes sense. Like the only difference between this frame and this one is that it's moved down by one. If you could like group things together and say like, if I change this one, also change this one, I think that'd be cool. But as far as I know, that's not a thing that's supported. But it would be nice. It would be quite convenient for me. For me specifically and no one else, actually. Maybe someone else. Maybe someone else cares. I don't know. Now the thing about this though, this one, we don't actually need to draw up there. We can do the things in GB Studio itself. So like this stuff, we can simply just make him bald. He's actually bald now. The baldest to ever do it. Just delete these. Delete all of these. Now we will have this here simply for completion, but it does not need to be. And I can move this all up. Actually, wait, we can change the sprite size. Sprite size is going to be, sorry, I mean canvas size. Sprite, actually, yes, it is sprite size, but also canvas size. So the height could be 24. Right, and then you gotta take the background, you gotta copy, oh wait, that should not be there. You should actually anchor it from the bottom. Right, height is 24, and that's there. And then this one could be moved upward, like this. Okay, and then you gotta take the background, right? Streamer narrating all their actions. So easy. Okay, so we have this. We should also delete this. Okay, so everything is here. And then we go into GB Studio. Everything's going to be broken. Once we export this, repeat last export. It's going to be messed up because everything... Oh wait, we also need to move everything into a different layer. So we got to export sprite sheet. We got to have... it's got to be split by layers. Layers, split layers. Okay, so now we have this, right? We have all the hair. We have all of this stuff. What if we don't split by tag? We should split by tag. But now it's pretty large. Okay, maybe we should not make it this large. Perhaps the sprite canvas size should still just be 16. That's fine. You know, it's fine that this one is cut off. So now if we export it with the layers, we'll have this one and that one. Why do we have another? Oh, because the background is its own thing. Is there a way to not export the background? Sprite, export, file, export, sprite sheet, borders, output, sprite, frames. Okay, what if we delete it? If we were to delete the background, how does VTube Studio, not VTube Studio, GB Studio, they both have studio in them. You could see how I could be confused by the two. VTube Studio. What if VTube Studio had Game Boy? What if they did that? How do I delete this layer? Is that... Oh, you just press delete. Obviously. Alright, let's try exporting this. Export sprite sheet. Split layers. And then export. Overwrite it. Okay, now if we load the game, it's gonna look really messed up. All the sprites are in the wrong place. We just have a bald guy. He's got hair. It's right there. We can't jump for some reason. It somehow broke our jumping. But that's fine. You just have to go to sprites, right? You gotta go to player. And now you gotta reassemble the entire thing. So we can delete all of this stuff, right? This one, whoops. Gotta reassemble. So the idle animation, we should also make the player sprite slightly larger. Let's make it 17. Is Wolfie going to load this game into a cartridge so I can play it on my funny little Game Boy? I'm not going to, but you could. If I were to release this game, if you had a way to do that, you could actually play it on a real Game Boy. Now with the way this is being set up though, it has to be a Game Boy Color, because I'm adding color to it. If you have the regular Game Boy, a Game Boy Pocket, it might not work. I don't know. You could also load it on some emulators. There's some, right? What is it? The Retroid Pocket or whatever. One of those things that exists. Everyone knows those things, right? Everyone is aware of these things. Alright, so we have this frame. And then we also have this frame. Now this frame, though, we should delete these. Because there is a way to do it better. You could simply add a new frame, and then this one, you can take this existing one and then just move it up by 1. No, we should move it down by 1 because this is the idle animation. So this one is here, and then you copy this one 3 times. No, actually, before we copy it, we should fill in the rest of the sprite first. This goes here, this goes here. We should also delete these. So now we take this one, right? This one right here, and then we do this. Whoa, look, it's like nothing changed. It's literally the same guy. Okay, and then you do this. Now also though, you can set the palette here. So the palette for the hair is this one, right? It's the default sprite palette. But then you choose the other one, which is this one and this one, and then you can make this one. You can make palette 2. Now we should change the palette though. Let's go view palettes. So palette 2. Wait, how do we do that? How is that done? Default sprites. We make one here, default blue, rename blue sprites. So the color here, lightest is going to be this one. This one's got to be like, we got to find a blue that is approximately close enough. Probably like maybe this one, perhaps actually that. All right, and then this one, it's got to be dark blue. It's probably good. This one's not actually used because sprites only have 3 colors, but we might as well set it because we might also want to reuse this for backgrounds. Okay, so now we have this blue palette. Go back to sprites, and then, okay, so then in here, set this one to be, wait, it doesn't exist. Where's our color? Palette 2 default sprites. Palette 2. How do we edit the palettes? What is palette 2 default sprites? Is it default BG2? Is it default UI? Maybe because I didn't save it? I don't know. Maybe it shows up in the game. What if we load the game right now? It does not work. It apparently does not work. The question is why? Why have they forsaken me? So we have palette 2. Oh, is it because of this monochrome palette? That's a different thing though. Palette 2, palette 8, default sprites. I'm gonna have to look this up. GB Studio sprite palette. Sprites. Sprite editor. Palette. A tile palette. It's not what I wanted. I don't know. No one even knows nowadays. Everyone thinks they know. Setting an actor's sprite palette. Go to the Sprites tab, highlight the sprites in the main window. Palette will show up on the right. Pick colors in the Palettes tab and apply them. But it doesn't work though. That's the thing, is that it doesn't work. Why is that? Do I have to set it in the game world? Is that a thing? More settings? Oh, okay. I see. Okay, so this should work then. This should then be blue. Oh shoot, okay, so I didn't set the other frame. You can see here though, it does turn blue. I could probably reuse like one of these. I could probably reuse default UI. That's like blue enough, right? It's somewhat blue. Okay, so let me set frame 2. And go here as well, and then you set it to palette 2. Look at that. Whoa, look at that. It's crazy. How did that even happen? Alright, this one should be white. It should not be this color. It should actually be this color. Wait, do I want it to be that color? Because then it would be the same color as the face. And it would look a bit strange. But maybe it's fine. Maybe it's actually fine. Reconsidered that maybe it's fine. Has anyone here considered anything recently? What was the last thing you all considered? The last thing that was ever considered. Export, repeat last export. Yes. Maybe that's fine. Okay, then we copy this 3 times. Sorry, we paste it 3 times. We actually paste it twice. You have never considered anything. Unbelievable. Did I copy the wrong frame? We have this one, and this one's not even there. What is that? So we paste this twice. We paste this one twice. We then move this one over, and also this one. Oh shoot! Look at that. He's bald though. It's because I have not replaced the walking frames. Telltale Games, the walking frames. Okay, so we have this one. How do we set layers? Is that a thing? What if I just delete everything? Let's just delete everything. Alright, so then this one, you have the hair, right? The hair is going to be... Actually, hold on. The first frame, the hair actually goes down. So it's like here, but down 1 frame. And then the next frame, the hair goes up by 1. So that goes there. And then next frame, it goes even more up. So that's why we had this setup. Is that you can actually now go even higher. It's up there now. It's actually amazing. Why does it feel like the top is cut off? Is that a thing? What's up with this? Bald. Bro is literally bald though. Okay, and the next frame it goes down by 1. And the next frame it goes down again. So it's here, and then it goes down. Okay, then we can add the body, right? We have, oh, this one was not even fixed. We have to be doing that stuff. We have to go here. We gotta delete the rest of the hair. Whoops. You have to be doing it. Welcome, Tag Barrel. How goes programming? There is no programming, actually. There's literally no such thing as programming in this game. It's not even real. Programming is not even real. But welcome. Okay, we're gonna re-export this. Export, repeat last export. Yeah, I'm separating the values so we can recompose them in the editor. Okay, so this one is here. You set the palette to this one. I'm separating them so that we can have separate colors for the hair and the rest. Okay, then we have this one. It's here. It's also this color. And then we have frame 3, which is now also this color. And then frame 4 is also this color. Frame 5, you would not even guess, it is also this color. Alright, so now it should work. Oh wait, hold on, I need to repeat the animation. Gotta copy this one, paste it. Copy this, paste it. Copy this, paste it. Okay, so this one should then work. Look at that. Whoa, we got multiple colors. Okay, we also need to do jumping. Jumping should also be set. So we take this one, put it there, and then this one, it's gotta be, wait, what the? Oh, the hair is actually, it actually goes up by 1. Okay, and then you have this one. And this one must also be this. Whoa, dude. Isn't that so cool? You're like, how can he have multiple colors in the sprite? That's not allowed. It actually looks quite good. The colors could be a bit more saturated, but I think it's fine for now. All right. Okay, what else can we do? What other things could be done here? So this one is there, this one is here. The question is, do I need this? No, I feel like we do need it. What if we did this? Is this better? Should I be having this? Should I be having this? I feel like we're supposed to be having this. Saturation is especially important if you tend to be played on real hardware. Yeah. But I believe the color palette that's chosen by GP Studio is kind of like, you can expect it to kind of look like this in the real thing. Although I guess it does depend on lighting, because the Game Boy Color did not have a backlight, which was actually quite annoying. Wait, did it? It didn't, right? They didn't have backlight until the SP. Which is actually wild, because like the Game Boy Advance regular did not have a backlight. You're like, what were they thinking? You have to like get the worm light. It's crazy. Welcome Flippy Gaming Live. What GB game name is called? It's called Example. It's called GB Studio Example, parentheses modified. It's on the top left right there. This is my video game that I've made. Okay, so we have running, we have sprites. It looks quite good in my opinion. You can also resize the window. You can make it into a cartridge. Yes, that is true. That is in fact a true statement. Alright. Let's commit this. Git status. I've changed quite a few things. I think we can remove the blue palette. We don't actually need that. That was an extra one that is not actually needed. I remastered Super Mario Land. What does that mean? Did you make it in like a different engine? You make it in GB Studio? Alright, so we have this. We have tile data. We have this stuff. We got default UI. Okay, split sprite into 2 parts. Okay. So now what? We have this. We can now jump. We can also have a falling animation. So in our other sprite, we did have falling. We have 2 frames of falling that we could probably copy into here. Actually, another thing we could do is that since we have the hair as its own layer now, we could actually bring back like this color right here. Because I think we have 3 colors. We have the outline, we have this one, and we have this one. So this could actually still be used. Is that true? Is that true? We have this one, this one, this one. So we could, it would look quite weird in the editor here. But then in the real thing, it would look nice. Welcome, Marklar. My friend threw his GBC on the ground when we were young at a camping ground. Prove it's armored, it still works. Yeah, there was the Game Boy Classic that was destroyed in the Gulf War, but it still worked. They had that on display in the New York Nintendo World for a long time. And they were playing Tetris on it. If you want to be fancy, secondary movement from hair is often very striking. Secondary movement? You mean like having like different frames for the hair? It is possible. It's more complicated than I would like. Fall down, hair go up. I mean, it would be like this, right? It would have similarities. Yeah. I don't know. Anyway, let's go back to sprites. This one, we could have like we could have colors for this. So if we were to adjust these colors, this would then be the lightest. It'd be this red, and then we would have a darker red, and then the darkest red, which would mean the lightest would no longer be white. Which is fine. It's actually fine. But actually it would look quite weird here. But, you know, this is not made for the editor. This is made for the game. So we can simply fill this in. And then do the same thing for this one. Okay, and then now it's like, what the heck is that? But okay, it's fine because we just have to fill in the sprites here. So we have the hair. Just measure it from here. It's from here. It's from here. It goes 2 and then it goes 3. And then what? And then on this side, we have 1 here. We have 3 and then up by 1. Welcome, Nutritious. Okay, and then we have another one on this side. And then what? And then I believe the entire bottom part is also this shade of red. We could probably just fill this in. And then I guess we copy this one and move it down by 1. And then we have the one that goes up by 1. The console is rock solid, but cartridge batteries die. True, you can replace them though. That's a thing. Welcome, Brooke. Okay, so this one it goes up, right? No, actually it goes down. And then this one, wait, did I do this right? This one is actually, well, this should be the same as this one. What am I doing? What are we even doing? Link these cells. And then this one should also be linked to this one. Wait, that's wrong. This one, okay, this one's linked to this one. But it should also be linked to this one. Okay. And then what? So we have all of these. This one should go up by 2. From mini golf, the miniature golf. I hope it was good. Alright, so we have this. Let's export this. Repeat last export. True. Now it looks strange. Actually, it looks kind of cool. It kind of looks like we have like white hair that is slightly reddish. It's got shading. It looks pretty fancy. Okay, well we can change the color palette. Let's go to palettes. Let's go to default BG1. Okay, so we're gonna let's copy this one. Can we copy this from, call this one dark red? Is it possible to copy a palette? I'd like to base it on the existing values. Maybe not. Maybe it's actually not possible. Alright, I guess we have to do it manually. Oh, we could just put in the colors here. So we can take this red, this color right here, and then it finds the closest match. So we'll take this one, paste it, and then we take this one. This is going to be the light color. Actually, it's going to be this color. And then we have the darker red, which is this one. And then we have an even darker red. This one's not actually going to be used, but it will be here. So it can be this, it could be here. We could also make it slightly like this. I guess we could also just make a blue one, like a real blue one. We'll call this one blue. So then the colors, we can take this color. This will be the darkest blue. It's gonna be this one. And then we have the lighter blue, which is going to be this one. And then I guess white is fine for this. Wait, these look the same. Did I copy the wrong values? This one here should be the darkest. Okay, that's actually... that looks the same to me. No, they're different. Is this wrong? Am I copying the wrong color? You have this color. Oh, because I didn't copy it. I did not copy it from here. This is the brighter color. Okay, that looks better. And we need a color in between, so it's gonna be this one. Okay, then we go back to the sprites. We gotta change everything. Everything must be changed here. So we have these two, it's gonna use... Gotta change the palettes. How did we do that? Palettes. Settings, was it in settings? It's in settings. That's a bit confusing to me. So we have this one. Instead of using default sprites, I guess this one could be dark red. And then go to sprites and then gotta change this one to use dark red. Yo, wait, that looks so close to the real color. It's actually pretty dark. Okay, and then you go back to preferences, and go back to settings, and then you change this one to be blue instead. Whoa, that looks pretty good. That looks quite nice. Okay, but then we gotta do the same thing for all of this stuff, which is a bit annoying. I select these two, go to this one. It's like I have like a large wig. He has an afro. I could probably just copy this. Let's delete these ones. Let's just delete these. So we have these two. We have these two up here. Also have them be dark red. Actually, I could probably do this from the editor. Or sorry, from this. If I can find out where it is. Sprites. Sprites. GBS res. Actor.gbs res. Player.gbs res. Okay, palette index. We gotta find all the ones that have palette index 1. Okay, so idle right works fine. We want to go to moving right. It's not there. Palette index 2. Palette index 2, palette index 1. Okay, so this one should be, we could find out what this one is, actually. Cannot actually. Okay, I'm gonna drink water, because it is, in fact, 4 minutes past the time that I normally hydrate. I pressed the hydration button, but it did not work. VTube Studio is telling me to back up my files. Thank you. All right. Good times. Good times out here. Okay. So now what? Now what do we do? We gotta move this stuff. Okay, actually, we can make a copy of this, paste it here, and then if we change this to the expected value, move this back up and save it, We should now have a different version. We can now diff them. So we can do vim diff. What is this file called? a.json. And also sprites player.gbsres. It's gonna be this. We're gonna diff these two files. So we can see that we want to change palette index 0 to palette index 1. And I believe that is probably all that we need to do. Maybe. So let's look here. Palette index 0. And then we just replace all of this with palette index 1. We save it, and then if we reload, if we simply reload VTube Studio, I keep saying VTube Studio. If I reload GB Studio, then the sprites should all be the correct color. That's actually not true. That actually is not true at all. It turns out that was actually false. Now, why is that? Why is that not true? Oh, it should be 2. It should be... Oh, because I changed 2 things. It should actually be palette index 2. Alright, let's reload this. Let's go here. Okay, so this one I think is good. Let's try loading the game. Whoa, look at those colors. It looks pretty good. Okay, look at that. Okay, we need to change the idle animation. We have 3 of these and then 2 of these. Wow. That looks good. He does look a bit pale now, though. now that the color is different, the skin tone does look quite a bit paler than you might expect. But maybe that's fine. Maybe in this game he's like a zombie or something. Have you considered that maybe he's a zombie? Welcome, Brainsat. Where are the guns? They don't exist because that's illegal. It's literally not allowed. I didn't mean to save this. I saved the wrong file. Oh no. Alright, so we have this. This is here. It's literally here right now as we speak. What if I re-exported the same thing? Whoa. Okay, now could I adjust the colors so that we can somehow get the skin tone as part of this? Let's see. So for the body, we have 3 colors. We have this one, we have these ones. Now I could, let's see. If I wanted white for this, We could have it so that... No, it would be kind of hard to do. So maybe we don't do it. I don't know. We could have like a third one. You could have one that's just this and then this and also this. But I feel like maybe it's a bit too much. That'd be using 6 sprites for one character, which is quite inefficient. I don't know. Well, anyway, we're gonna commit this because I think it works pretty well for now. Add a project, git commit, add different, actually, okay, man, what do I call this? Add change hair to have shading. Yes. True. So true. Okay, so we have this now. We have this, and it's good, and it's good. And now I want to add a falling animation. Falling animation would be quite cool. So we could add these ones. Let's copy from this. Let's make a new tag. A new frame even. I accidentally deleted the old frame. New frame. Okay, so then, so for the falling one, it starts off like this. The hair is in the same place. We could link these two. And then we simply have this one. No, actually this is quite messed up. So it retained none of the details. It's quite unfortunate. Okay, what if I remake this from scratch? Oh, I think I need to actually also color the rest of this in. Hold on. I believe it should be like this. And possibly also this. Possibly also this. Sure. Oh, but now this is messed up though. Now this one is messed up. You can paste this here and then have it go down. And then this is no longer linked, so we gotta link these two. And then this one is also linked to this one. But also this one though. By the way, also this one is here. Alright. So we just try to copy this one frame by frame. Let's copy from here. We have this one, and then welcome a dinosaurier noodle. Wait, how does this look? It starts from here. Is this different somehow from the other frames? It starts here. It goes down. Oh, this will not work because actually we have this thing here. But then it actually... This darker part actually goes down, which we don't have. We could make another version where it does go down. That would use up another frame, another sprite for really like no real reason. But maybe that's fine. Maybe we just do this and then let's see, it goes down here. And then what? And then the arms. Then we gotta have the arms. You know what? Let's just delete this. So we have this here. We have the arms go out from here, I believe. Yes, it goes from here. We got these two. And this one. And then one frame here. And we have all of these. Right. And then gotta have this stuff. Who knew this is actually quite complicated? Quite complex. What am I doing? What are we doing here? What is anyone really even doing? Alright, so then this one you have the other hand is here. It goes out like this. And then you also have this. And then what? And then what? What if I simply copied this? Does that do anything? I could use this to approximate something. So it starts off like this, and then we have 2 pixels here for this that appears to fit perfectly. You can also remove this stuff and that stuff. And also this. All right. And then we have this stuff right here. Copy this one in. And delete this one. Does this work? I feel like this one, hold on. The jumping one. So this is actually part of the hair. We don't actually need this stuff here. That's fine, right? This is fine. And then this one is probably fine. It probably works fine. Maybe. Let's add this tag. New tag, fall. Now you might be like, Wolfie, it should be called falling. Why is it fall instead of falling? Good question. I probably should have added the ing suffix. This should be running, jumping, and falling. But then you're like, but then this one's not idling. Okay, so maybe we undo that. Maybe it's fine the way it is. Alright, now that we have a falling animation though, and by animation we mean 1 frame, repeat last export. Okay, so now we can make a new animation. It's going to be called falling. How do I rename this? State name. Wait, can I add this here? Animation type. New state. State name is custom. Animation type is going to be platformer player. Wait, that's not what I wanted. I want a custom one. Fixed direction, platformer player. Is there no like custom thing that you can add here? Platformer player. Custom idle. Fixed direction plus movement. No. Fixed direction. Maybe I misinterpreted how this worked. GB Studio custom custom what? Custom state. How to use GB Studio's animation states. Customize the animation states. You'd be better asking that in the Discord. I hate that. Thank you. I can't believe it. Custom state. I'm having trouble with custom animation states. Wait, is it possible to set states elsewhere? Settings, perhaps. States? No. GB Studio. Custom state. Okay, what if I watch this video? What if I watched this video? What are custom states? Making a new state. Canada. New state idle. Oh wait, I've already watched this video before. Jumping. Wait a second. So 4 directions. Idle right, idle left. Jumping. So they have custom ones. Okay, so maybe I want to do 4 directions and then only use one of the directions. Maybe that's a thing. Instead of custom, it's going to be falling. Animation type is going to be 4 directions, perhaps. Okay, and then idle right, we're gonna have, it's gonna be this. We're gonna have these 2. And then we gotta change the palette to be dark red. And then we have the falling one. And this one is going to be blue. Okay, and then now I believe you can go to the game world. You can change, you can attach a thing to the actor somehow. Actors. How do I edit the player? Player. Actors. Intro. Player. How do you set this stuff? Scripts. No one even knows anymore. Everyone's just like, I don't know what is GB Studio. We have no knowers here. GB Studio, change player, what is it? Player on update. Where on update by player? There's not one. I will sometimes have an empty actor pinned to the corner of the screen, put any on update actions associated with the player. It doesn't exist. Are you for real right now? You have to actually like make, okay, we're gonna add a prefab. It's gonna be an actor. This is going to be, it's gonna have no sprites. Is it possible to have no sprite? Let's make an empty sprite. Transparent actor. Well, that's unfortunate. So we're gonna go to, let's make a new transparent sprite. I'm going to, actually, we're gonna delete some of the existing ones. Sprites. Delete this one. Delete it. Delete this one as well. Static.png. I will also delete this one. Delete it. Okay, we're gonna make a transparent one. File new, let's make it 16 by 16. It's gonna be indexed, and then it's gonna just be empty. We do have to load the palette though. Somehow. Load palette. This one. So it's just gonna be green. File, save as. Now we have to find the directory. Default GB Studio example. Assets. Yeah, the green. That's a pretty close approximation. Sprites. Blank dot png. PNG files. Okay, we have blank.png. And then what? Then you go to game world, you have the actor one. This one's going to be, we're going to rename this actor player update. So we're going to have on update, keep running while off screen, add event, platformer plus. We're going to have various things. Attach a script to platformer plus state. Actually, this should not be on update. This should be on init. Delete this one. Let's go here. On init, add event, platformer plus, attach script to platformer plus state. So player state on falling. You should change the player. Was it player fields? Set state. Actor state. Can I change state? Set actor animation state. Set the player state to falling and then don't loop it. Now, is that possible? Right, I did not add it to the scene yet. So we're going to have a player update, instantiate prefab, put that in the corner of the screen. So now if the player is falling, it does not actually work. Why does that not work? I don't know. Switch the player to the falling state. Okay. What? Oh, is it because we didn't loop the animation? Is that what it is? It just does not work. Start falling. Falling. Okay, it should be when falling. No? Okay, turns out I don't understand how it works. Attach script. Start falling. Change to falling state. Can I like print something? Display dialogue. Falling. It doesn't actually even work. What if this was on update? What if I simply read how this works? Let's go to GB Studio, attach script, platformer plus. Attach script, Collider script. Attach script. Okay, you can attach an arbitrary script to any of the states listed above. It will run once during the frame where the player enters or exits. The start of jump or end of falling. You can use this to easily change animation state. That's what I'm trying to do though. If you attach a script to the main state, such as falling, jumping, or dashing, it will run repeatedly during every frame. But do I set that on update? I probably set that on update. Can I like copy this? How do I actually copy this? On update. What if we copy this? Copy event. Paste. I would like to paste event. Copy script. Replace script. Okay. And then this one, delete it. Okay, does this work? It does not work. Why does it not work? I don't know. I just don't know. So they have a falling state. They have idle right, idle up, idle down. Is it because they're not in, they should be in like a platforming player state? Is that what it is? I think that's probably what it is. That's not what it is. It's actually not what it is. Idle right, moving right. It's not even there. Why would it not even be there though? That's the question. Is that no one even knows. Attach script. Attach an arbitrary script to any state. If you attach script to a fall or end state, it will run once during the frame. You can change the animation state. Welcome, Tiny. Why is new project in GB Studio instead of Godot? Is it just trying new stuff? Yeah, I just want to try something new. I feel like GB Studio is pretty cool. It's pretty neat. I like the arbitrary limitations. I guess it's not arbitrary. They had reasons for this. The limitations of like, you know, colors. You can have 3 colors in a sprite. There's like limitations on background tiles. And also it's kind of nice. It has like built-in ways to do dialogue. Like we've not seen that because I've just been doing this. But if I wanted to make like a story-focused game, which I don't know if I want to, but if I do eventually, it's actually pretty easy to do that. Because we've only been doing platformer stuff. There are many other scenes. You could add one that's like a top-down 2D game. And then you can like walk around and stuff like that. A lot of stuff. A lot of things that you can do. It's also kind of limited though. A lot of GB Studio games tend to feel very similar because they're just using the built-in tools. Without limitations, we make an action MMORPG. Are you doing that? Are you the one who's doing that? GB Studio, change animation on state. How do you do this? GB Studio Platformer Plus. Change animation on state. README. Change the animation states. Change state when button is held. Change animation state via variable. Set state event. I mean, they do have an example that they could simply copy from their example. You know, maybe I should do that. GB Studio Platformer Plus. They do have different sprites for various things. But where is it? I'm pretty sure I've seen it somewhere. Is it here? I think it's this one. So they do have different states for like... They don't have one for falling, but they have like a wall climbing one. Or wall slide one. I could see how they do this one. But where? But where is their example? Their example application. How do I find out how they did this? Is it here? Is it in the... Maybe it's here? It's not even... They only have one repo on GitHub? Come on. Oh, it's right here. The demo. Okay, I'm gonna copy this. We're gonna put it in the example. Godot, not Godot. It's gonna be sync thing default GB Studio PP Lus demo. I'm gonna load that one. Switch project. We can clear this one. Open project. Okay, it's going to be this one here. Oh, this was made in version 3. Version 3.0. This is an old one. What is this? Did they not update their example? There are 2 versions of Platformer Plus. V2 Alpha is designed to work with new slope types. Whatever, I don't know, whatever. Okay, let's see how this is implemented. So we have a player. How do we set the player? Platforms example. Oh, they have a lot of stuff here though. Where do they set? Oh no. Wait, okay, let's look at how they have it set up. They have sprites. They have... Where's the player? This is the player. They have default... Okay, they have dashing state. They have idle. They got knockback. I see. The dashing state has different properties. Actually, there's nothing there. I guess they have no dashing frames. Secondary is also... Oh, okay. So they use this for like other stuff. Now I want to see where they use this secondary. Game world. Prefabs? They got any prefabs? Nope. Platforms example. Let's see. What do they use to set the player? Change scene. Player. On hit player. So we start off from here. You have the player sprite is there. Player sprite sheet is here. Call script on init. Call script scene init. So then they go to their script. Where is their script? Scripts. Scene init. Ah, okay. Start falling, set animation state to secondary. So I need to make a script somehow. But how? Where was that set up? It's here. Script on call script on scene init. Scene init. Scene init. What is this? British? Scene init. Am I right, guys? So true. Okay, let's try loading our existing thing. So instead of having player update, let's delete this one. Let's delete this actor. Delete it. Get it out of here. I don't want it. So true, right? So true. New script. This is going to be scene in script add event. Platformer plus. Attach script to platformer plus state. Start falling add event. State. Set actor animation state. Set the state to falling. And then probably when you land, you probably want to have another one. Attach script. End falling or start grounded? I don't know. End falling. You want to have state, change state back to default. I guess falling doesn't need to loop, right? Okay, so then in the intro scene, on init, you maybe want to add a script. Call script scene init. Okay, then you move this up here. And then now I believe maybe it should work. Wait, I think it is working. Is it working? Is that working? Hold on, it's a bit hard to tell. It does. You can notice like one frame. So like, he doesn't hold the fall. Oh, do you see that? If you fall from a higher height, you can then see that he does a slight falling animation. Now, whether that's worth the effort, it's probably not worth the effort that I put in, but it's there now. It's there and it's probably fine. But it's going to be cooler when we have 2 frames though. We have 1 frame here. Let's make a new frame. So this is the jump, and then we have falling. Falling actually has 2 frames. We have this one, and then this one lowers slightly. So the hair is lowered by 1 pixel. And we can simply copy that from this. All right. And then you delete this one. You can probably copy it from here. And then what? So from here, it goes down there. And then the arms are, they're out. Welcome pork foo. I'm not laboring. It's actually not a day of labor. Isn't it weird that Labor Day is a day when no labor should be done? The celebration of labor requires not laboring. It's crazy. Okay, we can delete these. And then what? Then you gotta have this here. Right? It's simply gotta be. And then what? And then you have 1 here, and also 1 over here. It's a bit hard to tell what's happening because of the lack of information. What if I made this one like this instead? Would that be better, you think? I think maybe that would be better. It's probably, actually, yeah, I should be doing that. Good idea, Wolfie. It's a great idea. You know what they say, absence makes the heart grow fonder. Absence of labor makes us fond of labor. Anyone here fond of labor? Any fans of labor out there? What's the best labor? If you could name every labor, what would it be? Okay, so this is actually below the eye. And actually, we have one here. It actually goes out even more than I thought. And I should update all the other ones then. This is now here. It's actually here now. And this one also is here. So we had the running frame, and actually we have 2 of these. And then one here and one there. I used to have asthma as a child. I had labor to breathe, would not recommend. Dang. That's wild. The way that things are in society. That we have to do things to exist. That's crazy. It's actually crazy. So this is actually here though. It's actually like this. And then the next frame, you would not believe this next frame. It actually goes out like this. But also here. And then the jumping frame also has additional things, such as this. It's literally right there. And then what? Probably this. Alright, let's re-export this. Re-export. Last export. Whoa, actually it looks much better. Okay, so let's add the second frame of the falling animation. That's right. Player falling idle right. I think this one should have animation type 4 direction. Fixed direction, but they don't have flip for fixed direction. But I also don't need 4 directions. Whatever, you know, 4 directions. Idle right. So then on this frame, we have the hair. It goes down by 1 frame. And then we have, gotta update this to be dark red. And then gotta also then look for the falling frame, of course. And then put that there, and then make this one blue. And then see if that works. It disappeared for 1 frame. Oh, it's because we have this. It's because it's going to this. But I should copy this and then paste it. So we now have this. And also this. And then what? Whoa, look, it looks so good. Maybe, kind of. Oh wait, but it's facing the right. It's always facing the right. It's because I changed this type. So maybe we do need the platformer one, platformer player. I probably need all of these. We have idle right. Moving right, perhaps, moving right. this one as well. And then same thing for this. Actually, maybe we just need to set jump right. Is that the case? Is that the thing? Copy this one, paste it. Copy this one, paste it. Moving right? I don't think so. I think that's not true at all. That is a statistical anomaly. Okay, so we have some semblance of animation. It's hardly even noticeable. I think it's too long. We should delete this one frame. They should only be falling like this for one frame. Maybe. Actually, I can't tell. This barely makes a difference. What keyboard is this? Sounds like my keyworker's Keychron Q something. It is the Keychron. Let me check the back of it. I've talked about this before. This is the Keychron C1. The C1 of Keychron. Now you know. Alright, let's commit this. Keyboard ASMR expert. How did he know? How did bro even know? What is that? Oh, git dot is not a git add dot. Git status. I've changed quite a few things. Git diff. A bunch of binary files, a script. We've added a script. Sprite actor has been changed. Actor, alright, I've deleted various unused files. I've updated the player, right, the player height. Wait, why is the player height updated? When did I, oh, because it, right, it's the new frame. Okay, this is going to be add falling animation. Various changes. I hate when people do that. It's fine, you know, if it's in your branch, but when you merge it to main, you had better put a useful message, because otherwise it's literally unusable. Get that guy out of here. Mods, ban that guy. Alright, look at that, we got some animation. All of that in 2 hours. We spent 2 hours to really make a marginal improvement on this game, which is not even that big a deal, probably. But now what? Do you know that they also have built-in things for wall? They have gliding built in. Can you believe that? Vacuous sugar quest gliding. Sprites settings. What if I made a vacuous sugar quest for Game Boy? It's possible. Platformer plus. Okay, check this out. Float input, hold jump, and then wall, what is it called? Wall jumps. Enable wall slide on, wall slide gravity 0. You can now attach to walls. Wall kickoff, wall jumps. You can have. We didn't have wall jumps in Vacuous Sugar Quest, but they have it here. Wall die mods. What is this guy doing? Mods ban him. You can now attach to walls. You can also glide. Whoa, look, he's gliding. Bro, that's crazy. Okay, what about the fall float speed? Fall float speed. Well, there's things. There's various things. This one requires you to hold against the wall, though. It doesn't, like, immediately attach to the wall. Yippee. But also, they don't apply gravity. It appears that you float downward slightly every frame. It's not as drastic as in Vacuous Sugar Quest. Welcome, Diego. It also doesn't have climbing. Yay. I could probably figure out how to do it though. So the thing about these plugins is that you can actually write your own. Like, although most people are just going to be like updating scripts, like in this menu here, you can actually write custom C code. Now, I would prefer not to write custom C code, but it is possible. And check the Platformer Plus engine. They have source states. They got the platforming right here. Just a big 1800 line C program. With a lot of comments, actually. Glide. It's not called glide. What is it called? Float? Float input. Welcome, Yurga. We can easily track float as a jump type. Float input, platform jump, float grav. If no collide is not equal to 0, magic number. Gravity while holding jump, normal gravity. I see. Oh, they set a minimum. Is that what it? Plat max fall vel? Plat maximum fall velocity? Is that why we're not allowed to fall farther? But that's the same as normal gravity, right? This is something. I don't know. Collision, horizontal movement, a lot of other stuff. Newton. What about Oldton? It's always about Newton. What about the old guy? There's a lot of stuff here. Is there a theme for this game? I don't know. I'm just trying out GB Studio. Just seeing what I can do with it. Now, I feel like if I had an idea for like a story-based game, I would probably do it in GB Studio. I think it would be quite cool, actually. What if I did that right now? What if I made a top-down adventure game? The issue is having to draw sprites. I feel like drawing the sprites takes the most time. I think I spent like the first like hour and a half just doing this stuff. Anyway, I'm gonna drink water. It is in fact 7 p.m. Alright. You know, I was thinking, there's like the limitations of the Game Boy. You have like 3 colors for a sprite, right? You know who has 3 colors? Hamflow, that guy, has 3 colors in his graphic. He has blue, white, and black. I think if I made a Hamflow game, it would work quite well on the Game Boy. Because he does have the limited color palette. The issue would be, I would need to come up with an idea of some kind. Am I limiting file size to 128 kilobytes? I don't think so. Actually, that's the funny thing about Game Boy. Compared to Pico 8. With Pico 8, you can have like a maximum like size for your game. But then with like Game Boy stuff, they were not really limited by like storage. They were limited by processing power. You can have a game as huge as you want. They just need like more hardware. They just need to like put more ROM on there or whatever, more memory. So it's just like, there's fewer things you can do per frame, but you can have like a really, really long game. You can have a game that's like a gigabyte. Okay, maybe the Game Boy can't read a gigabyte, but if maybe like on a flash card, maybe if you had like, you know, some way to address that memory. Okay, maybe there are limits. They probably had some address limit. Welcome Yuko. When you erase the body features of your sprite, you become the Boris guy. Who? Boris? Isn't that the soup that with made of beets? Isn't that the beet soup? I'm sussing out Android emulation. The processing is nuts. What are you talking about? How can the processing be nuts when it's actually silicon? I don't know what I'm talking about. I don't really know things. He's incoherent. You're incoherent. Should I have like another thing here? Maybe this should be here. Is it even noticeable now? When falling? It's like hardly even noticeable. Look at the wall jump tech. It looks so stuttery. We're combining the gliding with the other stuff. If you're making peanut butter, the processing is nuts. Actually, peanut is not actually a nut. Do you know that? Actually, a peanut is actually a legume. It's not actually a nut. Little known fact. It's actually different. Interesting how hardly noticeable has a similar meaning to softly noticeable. True, that's actually so true, but no one says softly noticeable though. It's not really a thing that people say, as far as I'm aware. It's like gruntled, you know? You can be disgruntled, but not gruntled. Although people are using it still. Like nonplussed. Is someone ever plussed? Inflammable and flammable are the same thing. And many people learned that from The Simpsons, actually. Inflammation and flammation. Is flammation even a thing? What about outflammation? What about infinite? What about inflammation? What if I added fishing to this game? What if I took my failed Godot fishing game and made it in GB Studio instead, somehow? Actually, I don't know if it's possible to draw lines in Game Boy. Do you know that everything on Game Boy is tiles? They don't have primitives for drawing like boxes and stuff like that. You have to like preload it into your tile memory. Start debugger. Okay, this is how it's laid out in memory. You got all the stuff in VRAM. You got the color palette that's set. Everything has 4 colors. You have like 8 palettes you can work with. I don't know what this is. And then as things move around, well, you can't see things being loaded in and out of memory. Simply because I'm not really loading anything new here. But if I added something, they don't have ways to just like draw text. They actually draw text to a tile set, and then they put the tile set on the screen. They have 2 different layers. I've been watching a lot of videos about this. I understand a lot about how, like, you know, the limitations and stuff like that. Let's see, like if I added in here, if I added like another actor, for example, let's add like a second player. Add an actor, right? It's gonna be this guy. It's gonna be a second Wolfie. Okay, and then on interact, we're gonna have text. We're gonna show draw text. Hello. Okay, maybe not draw text. What is it called? The other thing. Dialogue and menus. Display dialogue. Hello. And then we can add an avatar, perhaps. We have no avatars. Never mind. Let's delete that. So there's a second Wolfie on the screen, right? And then you'll note, and when we interact with the Wolfie, he's jumping. Okay, but wait, how do you actually interact in platformer mode? I'm pressing all the buttons. See, look, it says hell. They draw the text down there. Do you see that? They draw the text down there. And then if I like changed it to be like, hello, this is text hell. Oh, if I rerun this, pay close attention. Look, they put everything one at a time, and then they simply like show this region, right? And then that's something, right? It's also nice that they show you a preview. You can see what it looks like in the game. Or like you can tell that the text is cut off or whatever. Hello. Okay, but we don't need this guy. Delete that guy. Get that guy out of here. Alright, now what? What if I made a top-down game? You can mix and match platformers and top-down game. You could have like a new scene, perhaps. Maybe we have like a second level. You know, I should try to do that. I have not added a second level yet. Let's make a new level. This one is going to be like this, perhaps. Gonna be like up here and here. And then we're gonna draw on it. It's gonna be like this. You hear the ice cream truck outside? Classic times. And everyone loves ice cream. Okay, you can have a thing over here. It's like this, right? You can go down here. You can then jump back up if you want to. Maybe some other platforms down here. And then once I update my script, I save this, right? And you're like, oh no, how are you going to get it into the game? How is that even going to work? We're going to add a new scene. You can just press S for this. And then you can choose level 2. Level 1. Oh, what the heck is that background? Oh, because I haven't actually added a background color. That's the thing. In this world here, we specifically set a background color. Wait, what is default? Use default. Can I set the default? Is that a thing that I can do? Project settings. Default color. Default background. Ah, there we go. Default background color. Let's copy that value. Right here. And then you go here. You paste it. And then you go back here. You also set the color. Alright, and then now that we've created the thing in there, I have this custom scene path variable. And you use this to find the file that you've added. Welcome Aaron Rushed. I went back to GB Studio. You missed an entire stream where I learned about it. And then you have, let's see, scenes. Wait, oh, I need to save it first. You'll note that everything turned black. I don't know why that happens. Wait, where's my scene? Bro, dude, where's my scene? Let's reload it. Reload assets maybe? Maybe, open the project. Wait, this is the wrong one. I opened the wrong project. Switch project. Example. Bro, my scene is gone. My scene is gone. All my collisions are gone. All my apes gone. That's fine. It's actually fine because we can generate that from scratch. Although I don't know why this is not saved. Oh, it's because I set, okay. So I changed various things. This should not be an extension. This should be this. Okay, so now it should show up. Yo, welcome Amd995, hello. Were you playing Danganronpa? I'm going to assume that's what you were doing. I could find out by shouting you out. And I will. Shout out Amd995. Yes, it was in fact Danganronpa 2. Welcome Caps Locked. We're learning about GB Studio today. It's an engine where you can make a real Game Boy game. That's right, a real Game Boy game that you can run on a real Game Boy, but also on your computer. And I think that's cool. That's right, a real Game Boy game. That's right. You heard correctly. Now, if we reload this project, and go back to our example, reload this. Do I want to save changes? Do I? I guess. Okay, but then now we gotta regenerate it. Okay, well, let's reload this one. And I will demonstrate for the raiders. They're gonna be like, whoa, what the? This is a real Game Boy game. We have collisions, okay? It's literally right here. It's loading. Everything is building. I feel like the first time you build the project after reopening it, it takes a long time. I don't know why it takes so long. Still have my Game Boy Advance, never had a Game Boy though. Well, you know, the Game Boy Advance can still play Game Boy games, right? It was a bit weird though because it would stick out of the console. But you could still play it. But I had a Game Boy Pocket. I had a Game Boy Color. It was good. It was good times. And now we wait. I guess while we're waiting, we can try to figure out scene transitions. I want to try to see if I can like add a thing that allows me to go from scene 1 to scene 2. Let's see. So we can insert a... Is that a trigger? Is that what I want? A trigger is here. On enter, add event. Change scene. Oh, and then it goes here. You can change the X to something. It's still building. I don't think back in the day, it probably did not take this long to build. Actually, is that true? Do you think they have to wait this long to build a Game Boy project? Because this is like modern tools. They did not have this stuff. They had to like write custom assembly for this. That is totally different. I can make Tetris. No. I'm going to make Vacuous Sugar Quest 2, but it's going to be a demake. Probably not. Okay, look, this is the game. You can jump. This is me. You can also glide. They have gliding built in. It's literally built in to Game Boy Studio Platformer Plus. Let me try the scene transitions. See, after building once, it's a lot faster. Oh shoot, I'm stuck at the top though. Oh, this is a top-down game. Scene 2 is actually a top-down game rather than a platformer. You gotta change this manually. You have various options here. You can have point and click, you can have adventure, shoot 'em up, you could have a logo. It's crazy. Who would have thought that this would be the way things are? Okay, so you can set the Y value. Can I set this to where the player was in the previous level? Variable. We have a bunch of temporary variables here. A lot of variables. I guess the player's position is not stored. I would have assumed. Property, is it property? Tile, oh, you can set it to, okay, they do have this built in. So you could set it to pixel Y. So depending on where you enter the scene from, you could enter... No, maybe not. What happened? Where am I? Okay, turns out maybe that's not how it works. I thought that perhaps this is how it worked, but that's not true. What if it was set here? Oh, this is, okay, this is based on pixels. Okay, this be based on tile line. Right, that probably makes more sense. Okay, so now we're on this side. But then you can also change the direction. So when we enter, we should be facing the right. Look at that. Whoa, that's crazy. But we can't go back. Unless I add another trigger, which allows us to go back. Look at that. And then on enter, change scene, change the intro scene. And then direction, you're facing the left. Property tile Y. And then you can copy this to this side. Maybe this, maybe this side. I'm going to assume this is gonna like, it's not gonna constantly bring us back and forth. Okay, never mind. I was mistaken. I thought that maybe it would would not do that. You have to adjust it by 1 pixel, by 1 tile, so that you are not colliding. Okay. Alright, so we have scene switching. Isn't that cool? Wait, is it possible to have it out of the scene? No, I guess not. But that's cool. Oh, I think I know what an issue is. Is that our hitbox for the player is different from default scene and falling. Sorry, what's it called? Something. Actually, no, it's not. I thought this was different. I was mistaken. It's actually the same. Whatever, it's fine. Anyway, that's pretty cool. It's that easy. I'm gonna disable gliding because we don't actually need that in our game. Sorry, floating. Float input, none. What else do we enable? We don't need wall kick. We enable wall slide off. Wall jumps 0. You can also add enemies. I've not added any enemies in any of the games I've worked on. So this will be an entirely new thing that I will have to figure out. Imagine enemies. Imagine having enemies in games. It's actually impossible. Anyway, what else can I do today? A lot of stuff. The issue is having ideas. I should probably commit this though. Git add dot engine field values. What did I change here? Engine field values. I changed these things. I guess setting them to something which is the default value just sets it to overwrite the default value, which maybe is reasonable. I don't know. Add second scene. Alright, what else? What else do I do? Music. I've not worked with music in this game. No song loaded. Let's make a new song. How does this work? What is this? Metroid? What is this? Some kind of Metroid? Piano. Bass drum? That sounds pretty good. How do I play it from the beginning? Let's save. Can I make it loop from here? What is this? What are we doing? What is this? Is breakcore? What is the genre? Hardstyle? Is this hardstyle? Then what is this? Soft sweep? That sounds pretty good. Pretty good, guys. A wave. What about short? What about 25% pulse? That is very unpleasant. What about a short pulse? What about a soft sweep? What about a... this? Oh, that sounds nice. Yo, new musician just dropped. It's me. He's making the sick beats. So sick, bro. Actually so sick. It actually sounds awful. Let's delete that. Let's delete this. What else do we have? Music, sound effects. We have sound effects. Song template, delete song. Yes, delete the song, please. Sound effects. Let's make a new sound effect. How do you make sounds? There appear to be no options here. There are no buttons. Dialogue review. Images. Levels. Placeholder.png. Game world. Well, I don't know. I will try to think of like a game idea at some point. And then we can finally have something to do. Oh, also, okay, I guess you have to like make sure you run the scene in it on every scene. Otherwise, I don't think scene 2 has the falling animation. Right, this one, if you're falling down for like a certain amount of time, it plays a different animation. Oh no, it also applies here. I guess it just needs to be applied once, and then it persists between scenes. That's good to know. Anyway. Oh wait, they do have a limit. Someone asked about 128 kilobytes. They do have a limit. I thought that was an arbitrary restriction. Your ROM needs to grow this much to fill this size. What is this? Wait, you can have more. How does this work? You can have 4 megabytes? Are there games that are 4 megabytes? That's actually hard to believe. Also, do you see this? See that run button? Why is that there? Software developers, there is a bug in this code. Unbelievable. I mean, it is open source. I could probably fix this if I wanted to. If I wanted to figure it. It is an Electron app, actually. Do you know Game Boy Studio is an Electron app? You can write plugins in JavaScript. Probably. But anything game engine related has to be in C, which is unfortunate. But that's how it is. That's life. Sometimes that is just how things are. Now we can also have one-way platforms. It's another thing that is supported by the engine. You can also have things that just go one way. You can also place things like this. If you want it to be very confusing, you could have the intro go to the right and also the other scene is actually on the left side. But I will not do that because that is absurd. I'm kind of just yapping now. What if we added a top-down mode? Wouldn't that be cool? If we simply did that. What did I change here? I changed where things were located. could also just undo that. Oh, we have an untracked music file. Remove the music. All right. Does anyone else have like game ideas? If you were to make a Game Boy game, what would it be? Does anyone even know things nowadays? No one even knows. No one is even aware of all the things that go into making games. Certainly, I don't know. I would simply invent Tetris. True. Actually, truer statements have never been stated. Ever. Did I make a fishing game yet? No. I have not. I will never. I mean, I might eventually. I don't really have like ideas for one though. Also, welcome Polyglitch. I just don't know. We simply just don't know. I mean, I don't know. You might know, but I don't know. Export. Export this sprite sheet right now. Welcome, Tiff. Thank you. I'm going to split up this sprite into two different sprites, because you can only have 4 colors in a sprite. Actually, 3 colors. So the hair is on its own layer. Everything is good. And if I had a real Game Boy to test this on, I could do it. Wolfie Up, a climbing platform with all the wicked movement you can think of. What if I had a game where I glide? How about that? What about a game where I climb a mountain? And then on that mountain, there are various things that give me power-ups. Many sugar-related items that you can use to learn how to climb. To jump, perhaps even, you know, to glide, perhaps to ledge grab, and then some spikes, and then also I don't know, something else. And also if I was a sugar glider, and also if my name was Vacuously. And I had a guild, and I collected various clovers that were optional. Wow, that'd be crazy. What about a game where you're a rat and you push things around, but then they loop around based on the color of the loop, and you can also eat cheese. The cheese will change your color. I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, what if we made a top-down game? Right now we have side-scrolling. I've not really done like a top-down game. I mean, okay, I guess Op Rattler is kind of like that. But I mean like a real one. You know, like a real one? Like a real game. A game that is real. If I were to copy this Paste it. No. Why was that not copied? Oh, because it's hidden. Copy this, you paste it there. Okay, now we can adjust this to make a downward facing guy. Look at this, he's staring right at us. And then what? Welcome, Dopamine. Thank you. It's also in color. Look at that. I think a lot of games for Game Boy, they only have 2 frames in their animation. Right? If we look at, for example, Link's Awakening sprites, he only had 2 frames in his walk animation. Actually, it was 1 frame flipped around. It was actually just 1 frame. Holy. How did they know? They fit all this in 1 frame. That's absurd, man. What if I did that? How do you even do that? You have like 1 arm. It's like this. And then how do you even do it? It's like this. No, it's like what? What the? Have I played Celeste? Have I played Hollow Knight? Have I played Bat to the Heavens? I've played Celeste and Hollow Knight, but not Bat to the Heavens. But I am aware of it. I've seen it. What if it was like this? Oh, the ice cream truck is getting louder. It's approaching. It's approaching my current location. It's so loud. Okay, well this on. What if it was like up here? And then it was like this. Ice cream. Iced cream. Okay, what if okay, oh, what if it was like this and then the other arm is already there? It's literally already there. How did they make this look so good? Ice cream. What are you even screaming? What is anyone even screaming for? Is there even anything worth screaming for nowadays? Is anyone really screaming for ice cream? Like someone's life is so like upsetting that the only joy that they have is ice cream. Oh, that's not true. Ice cream is pretty cool. Me, so true. Everyone knows. Alright, this is the top-down sprite. We can simply flip this. How do I flip it? Control F? No. Okay, you are gonna enter advanced mode? What the frick? I didn't know A-Sprite had an advanced mode. What the heck is that? Is that real? A-Sprite advanced mode? I'm feeling ill today. Just got up, have ice cream in my lap while watching. What kind of ice cream though? Stuck in advanced mode. The heck is advanced mode, dude? It seems like a lot of people get stuck on this. How do I exit Vim? Guys, I opened Vim. How do I exit Vim? I don't know. You just don't know. Vanilla ice cream. I think that's pretty good. Of all the ice cream flavors, I would say that's like one of the good ones. one of my preferred flavors. Usual chocolates. Okay, we've had discussions about chocolate ice cream. If you are a fan of chocolate ice cream, it's better that you don't hear what I have to say about it. Camflo has the same opinion. It's fine. It's fine. I'm making this feel like it seemed like I feel so strongly about this, but I don't. Okay, so walking to side does have 2 frames, specifically because you cannot simply just flip this one, because then it would be facing the other way. Shrimply a chocolate fiend, but I feel like chocolate ice cream is not really the same as other chocolates. There's something about it. It's just like it's so different. I like how I said I will not repeat my statements, and yet here I am talking about the ice cream. Bro is talking about the ice creams. Unbelievable. Okay, for the side view though, how do we do side view? Side view is gonna be like this. I don't get just chocolate ice cream, you get the one with vanilla and chocolate swirls and peanut butter cups. Okay, that makes sense. If it's like just chocolate ice cream though, I'm not like a huge fan of that. But like with other stuff, I think it's fine. Somehow. Okay, how did they do it? They have this. It's like this. But then also... Wait, what? How did they do this, bro? I don't get it. I don't understand. I do not understand. Okay, what if we use this color to separate the values? And then you did this. I don't know. Man, what the heck? This doesn't make sense. Okay, what if it was like this, and then we had this one. This doesn't work. This doesn't work. What if I just copy some other person's sprite? Game Boy 16 by 16 character. Top game assets tagged 16 by 16 and Game Boy. What about this monkey? What about these guys? What about these? Oh, these guys look like they're from Zelda as well. Ages. Oh, what if it was a dog? What if we added dogs to the game? It's pretty good. I like how they didn't put the year. July 21st, 48 dogs. Was it last year? It was probably last year. No, that doesn't make sense. This was in October. Actually, no, they might have added this before the first comment. That would make sense. I don't know. GB Studio Sprites Pack. Dog. What if it was dog, huh? What if we simply drew dog? Speaking of dog, hello, Min Costello. That's right, 104 free dogs. It's everything you would ever want. I don't know. What if we added a dog to this game? What if dogs were real? Wouldn't that be cool? Wouldn't that be neat? Alright, dog. Let's add a dog, I guess. I don't know. I don't really know what I'm doing. Just kind of just doing things. Yep, there it is. There's our dog. It's a good looking dog right there. Certainly one of the dogs. And then you add a new frame. A new frame of this dog. The dog is moving. Oh yeah, look at that. Look at that dog. Did I see this dog thing? What is that? Mongolian dog wind tunnel experiment. I have not seen this dog. What's the is this like it's a dog figure? I thought it was a real dog for some reason. I was like, why did they put this real dog in a wind tunnel? Now I've seen it. I've seen it though, now. I want to go into a wind tunnel. Has anyone been in a wind tunnel? There are some places in New York that like the wind, like the way the buildings are structured make the wind like funnel very strongly into one area. I feel like I've probably been in some of those, but not like a real wind tunnel. Just like a, you know, like a, it just happened to be a tunnel of wind. I don't know. Alright, what if we had dog? What if this was dog? Repeat last export. And then in here, we can have another actor. It's going to be a dog. Oh no, it has to be its own sprite. You cannot mix and match sprites. Like Coca-Cola and Sprite, you can't be mixing and matching those. They have to be in their own separate files. Which probably makes sense. I would assume. Nice dog, thank you. Okay, what if this was the dog? What if this was the dog? What if we had dog? Good night, world. Thank you for watching this stream. Up. I did not know it was going to open like a separate file every single time. Okay, let's put the dog into its own thing. 16 by 16 dog. And then we load the palette. It's going to be player.asprite. Okay, so this one. Let's make a new layer. And then in here, you just copy these two frames. All right. You can also just delete the background. Don't know how to do that. By pressing delete, obviously. This one's going to be saved as dog.asprite. We're going to export it as a sprite. And now we should have dog in here. Dog is now here. We have an idle animation. It's got a fixed direction. It could go 4 directions and movement. So this is the... Oh, it auto-populates them for you. That's cool. This one though. Is there? But then this one should not have the extra frame. So then idle down. It also looks like this. Moving right though. This is when you have the animation. You gotta have it. You simply have got to have it. Some might say you don't have to have it, but they're wrong. And then move it. We could just copy them. You know, let's just copy 2 of them. Turns out you cannot copy 2 of them. You have to copy 1 at a time, which is a bit strange to me. I would have assumed that maybe you could copy several. Okay, so then we can go make a new scene. You know, what if we just put the dog in this scene? New scene. This is going to be a top-down one. Let's make a new level. This one will be a top-down level. So if you go to the left, it's going to be a new level on this side. So we have various things. It's going to be. It may look like it's a top-down thing, but actually it's a different thing. You can walk around. It's a room. Okay, this one's going to use level 2. And then, okay, you gotta remember, you gotta go here. And then you save this one, you set the scene path. It's going to be scene 3. Right, and then you run the script. You run the node script to sync everything. And then when you reload it, it's going to have all the collisions. Don't save. Welcome Piss. Hello. Look at that, we have all the collisions built in. And then you go to the intro scene, you add a trigger on this side. And then on enter, you're going to change scene. You're going to go to scene 3. And then you're going to set the position. It's going to be actually on this side. And you're going to be facing the left. Now in scene 3 specifically though, on init, you're going to change the player sprite. Welcome Electro Retro. Video games. Let's see. How do we change the player? Player fields. Set platformer. No, that's not what I want. You want state. Set actor animation state. Set the player state. No, I would like to change the player though. Can I change the player to be a different thing? Animation state. What is gender neutral here? Game person? I don't know. I have no idea. You're assuming that the boy or girl are people. They may be like a different creature even. Not even human. So we just don't know. We simply just don't know. Can we change player? Ah, set player sprite sheet. Okay, you can change them to dog. So now we can test it out. You can run ego this side and up. Actually, it does not work for some reason. Why did that not work? Oh, because I didn't save it. Change scene. Scene 3, and then... Wait, this is already set. Oh, this is like a different thing? I had different triggers for this? That's what it was. Can't believe it. We can retry the Lantern X thing. Oh, look at that. We're dog now. We are now dog. We are now dog. Wow. It's also Pikachu. You might think it's a dog, and you're right. But it might also be Pikachu. Yep. Dog or dog thing. Anyone here understand dog? Does anyone even know? Okay, we can add another actor. Right here. It's going to be a player. And then on interact, I'm going to say display dialogue. Yo, what up, dog? I don't, never done seen no dog look like that before. True, actually so true. Yo, what up, dog though? What is even up with this dog? Imagine if this streamer was using Godot. So I could say go dog. It doesn't even sound like that though. Good dog. Isn't that what they say in Australia? Good dog, mate. That's what they say. That's what they sound like. Good dog, mate. Anyway, that's going to be it for today. We have done several things today. We have specifically added a dog. We have also added a second scene. We've also split the sprite into 2 sprites. Actually 4 sprites. But each of those sprites has colors. And I think that's cool. But that's going to be it. Let's find out what day it is. Let's raid someone. Look at that. Alright. What even is today? Chess Day? Emma M. Nut Day? What does that mean? Who's that? Who is that? Tofu Day? A bunch of days. A bunch of days out there. Chess Day? We could do Chess Day. Chicken Boy Day? Chicken Boy? What is that? Chicken Boy. Waddle Day after the Australia mention? What is that? Is that a real? I thought that was the guy from Kirby. Waddle Day? We could do Ginger Cat Appreciation Day. That's a thing. I don't know. What do we do? What's the raid message? Tofu Day? Chicken Boy Day? What the heck is Chicken Boy Day? Let me see who's streaming though. Who do I raid today? Who even is out there? It's like a flowering tree. A wattle? A wattle. Happy Guy Fawkes Day. Can't say that. It's not even on the list. How can it be that day if it's not even that day? What if we rated Dofume, right? It's like tofu. Tofu Day? That's like Dofume, right? That's literally the same thing. National Tofu Day? Dofume? Although she is on her starting soon screen, and I believe people are usually on that for at least 5 minutes. But then if I just send you there, you're gonna be like on a starting soon screen. And it's like not that cool. But what if it was cool? What if it was actually cool? You know, whatever. I'll send you over there. Do whatever you want. It can also sometimes pressure people to start their stream early. National Tofu Day raid. What are some emotes? Tofu. What if we posted, is there like a Mahjong, white dragon emoji? Is that a thing? That's a thing, right? That also works. Handflow, that also works. I'm not removing the emote. I mean, you could have both. It could have several. You could have several emotes. Anyway, thanks for watching. I'll be back on Wednesday with something. I don't know what I'm streaming on Wednesday. It'll be something. On my schedule, I did say I don't know, and possibly lawn mowing simulator or something equally mundane. Maybe Woloop. Maybe if I can find like a fishing game that's good. I don't know. Thank you, Wolfers and Tiny. Tiny was in fact here earlier, even before the stream started. An hour before. And we also raided Tiny today. That's right, I've raided someone else today before the stream. Raid's going. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.